This video is brought to you in part by Squarespace. You can start your free trial today at squarespace.com/downwardthrust to get 10% off your first purchase. PUBG just introduced the event pass system into its game, and it's got a lot of people pissed off actually. PUBG players across the world have been begging for a progression system since the beginning of this game, and they have not gotten it up until now. Prior to this system, the only form of progression in PUBG was basic rudimentary crates that you could open with keys, yet you had to buy those keys off of Steam, so it wasn't really a progression system, it was a pay-for progression system. And keep in mind, this is a system that was only integrated recently. Almost an entire year went by where there was really nothing to work towards in PUBG. So you can't call the crate system in PUBG progression because it's pay-for progression and in itself doesn't really offer any meaningful rewards. There's only some basic weapon skins and some clothes and cosmetic stuff, which honestly, if you really look at them, they're nothing special compared to something like Fortnite. So we've been asking PUBG for an actual progression system for such a long time, and now, what do we get? The event pass system. And quite frankly, it is not what people want. Basically, you pay $10 for the opportunity to unlock cosmetics by completing challenges in kind of the same way you do as Fortnite's Battle Pass. You get missions, they tell you what to do. If you complete the objective, you'll get the reward. It's basically that simple. It usually just boils down to kill X at Y location. It's really nothing to run home about. There's no Thanos here, it's not really interesting, but you do get rewards by completing said objectives. Here's the big issue that people are pissed off about. It's a 30-day battle pass, but some of the stuff you unlock is not permanent. As you level up with the event pass system, you're given goodies to have in your inventory. Some of those are permanent, some of them are temporary. And in fact, a lot of them are temporary. It's like leasing a car. You pay for the right to drive the car around, but then you have to give it back at the end of the lease. It's not a good system, especially in a game that is actually not free to play. That's the reason it works in Fortnite, because Fortnite is free to play, so it doesn't feel so bad going out and buying the battle pass for $10 because, well, the game is free. So you're putting in money to get new things because you got the game for free in the first place. That's the second problem here. PUBG cost $30, so the integration of this event pass system for $10 doesn't feel as ethical, especially when you consider Fortnite's battle pass costs the same amount of money, $10, and gives better rewards. Yes, that's kind of subjective, but I think most people feel this way. Just look at the rewards for each game. It's kind of night and day. Fortnite has much better cosmetic items. That's because PUBG never really put the time in to flesh out their cosmetic system or their progression system, I may add. They never put the time in. In fact, they had so much time to make it a deep system and really reward players for going out and participating in their game, but they did not do that. So what's happening? They're trying to catch up to Fortnite, but they don't have the foundation in place to make it work the same way. So for those people out there that do not have the time to complete the entire event pass, they get screwed more than everyone else, and that's not fair. Honestly, the event pass system has so much potential because we haven't really seen it integrated into many games, especially many battle royale games, because they're just new on the market right now. It's kind of similar to season passes for AAA games, but the thing is, a battle royale game is a sandbox. So there's so much potential to just do crazy modes and missions and all sorts of different objectives because you can really alter the way the game is played by setting up special events and altering the dynamics of the actual game mechanics. This first implementation by PUBG is a missed opportunity because it's just pissing people off because they're not doing it in the correct way. They're not rewarding players permanently, and honestly, they're charging too much money for what they're offering. It works better in Fortnite because it's longer, they have better rewards, and of course because the game is free. Not the same in PUBG. PUBG needs to do a lot better than this system if they want to retain their player base and stop the bleeding that has been happening since the beginning of this year. Honestly, for a lot of PUBG players, including myself, this game feels like it's on a runaway train and about to derail and crash. For the longest time, this community has needed a proper progression and reward system to incentivize them to stay playing this game, not the least of which, to supplement some of the other areas that this game is missing out on. In fact, a lot of areas that this game needs to be improved upon. I'm talking about the connectivity, the performance, the constant crashing, the constant bugs, the problems with the Asia server, team killing, weapon balancing, hacking, problems with cars. How often do we see these issues? Every single game. And how often has communication been sent out for these issues? not very often at all. So now you can see how it's all panned out. PUBG came out, needed major fixing, needed a major progression system, needed a reward system to incentivize players to play, needed to fix its problems. Has it done that? No. So instead of fixing all this and managing the relationship of this game, we get a bone dry, if not damn near exploitative, event pass system that doesn't even compete with Fortnite's. So now you can see why so many PUBG players are annoyed at this entire situation, and honestly, why so many of them have left the game permanently. PUBG has a lot of great stuff going on for it, but it's being mishandled by the game development company. As the player count continues to plummet and plummet and plummet, I'm not sure where this game is going to end up, especially if this is all the game is ever going to offer. If PUBG can't think of a better idea than this event pass system, and they can't optimize their game and fix the core problems, this game is going to continue to sink to the bottom of the ocean. If you're going to charge $30 for this video game, you've got to do better than this temporary $10 event pass system, which leaves a lot to be desired. PUBG is wounded, it's hemorrhaging players, and it has a buttload of bad PR. And I don't know how long this game is going to be able to hold out in the wake of such a bad light. In my opinion, they should be fixing the core problems right now instead of just kind of launching cheap gimmicks at us for more money. The idea of the event pass is good, but it feels like a gimmick because the rewards are so paltry given the cost of this thing, especially since the precedent with other games is so much better. All they really had to do was copy Fortnite's Battle Pass if they wanted to make it a good system. It's clear to me, someone who has supported this game for such a long time, that Bluehole, like a lot of other companies out there, are more worried about milking the piggy bank instead of giving players great gameplay experiences and making them satisfied. Unfortunately, the mediocrity of PUBG's event pass system just screams anti-consumer. Before we wrap up the video though, I do want to talk just a little bit about Squarespace, which is quite honestly the best website building tool on the market. I've always wanted to build a website or a blog, but honestly I'm pretty much a tech dummy. Thankfully, Squarespace is really easy to use, it's user-friendly, and it's fun to just kind of use and jump in there as a web development tool, even for me as someone who could barely type. They've got 24/7, 365-day support, and it's all on a single platform, so no plugins, no updates, or patches, pretty much ever. When I'm done building my website, I'm going to share it with you guys. I've got a few cool ideas in mind. But if you want to build your own website, you go to squarespace.com/downwardthrust, and once again, you get that 10% discount for signing up. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think about this event pass system down below in the comment section. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and thumbs it up for me and subscribe here for more of our future content. You guys have a terrific day, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Peace, love, and happiness until then. You guys take care.